Bonjour mes amis, je m'appelle Aditi Pandey. I am your new teacher and welcome to the first video of my channel World Scott Education. Just focus and achieve. Let us start. So our first chapter is Lesson-1 La France, and our first subject we are gonna study today is France, French. So, as you know, France is a country and their language is French. But French is spoken in many parts of our country and many parts of the world. Like in Canada, French is the official language of Canada. Even in Goa, people speak French. So there are many places where we can go by learning this language, French. So let us start today's video. So our first chapter is La France. As the name suggests, it is the French in English, and it tells, as you know, the French means it would be about France. So let's study about France, because if you have to learn a language, firstly you have to learn about that country's beauty. Just like India, France is also a very beautiful country. Let us study about it and learn its beautiful language, French. Firstly, I would like to tell you that in English we say France, but in French language we don't say France to the country, we say France. In French it is France, not France. So try to say France instead of France. That way you will learn quicker. Okay, so first line is l'hexagone. L'hexagone means hexagon, the hexagon. And La France s'appelle l'hexagone. This means that the France is also called l'hexagon. And why it is called is because it its map is its map resembles a hexagon. As you can see here, uh, I would draw here. If you draw line these lines, you can see that it looks like a hexagon. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 means the French map resembles a hexagon. And it is and do you know which is the capital of France? Yeah, I know many of you would know, because everyone knows that Paris is the capital of France. And Paris, and I want to ask, do you know what is Paris called? Paris is called the City of Lights. I think fewer of you would know, because every one of us knows about Paris, but we don't know that Paris is also called the City of Lights. And do you know why? Because in night the city of Paris is lightened and it looks very beautiful there. And it's so beautiful to see to travel in Paris at night. And in and in French we would say this, if you I want to say it, the capital of France is Paris, I would speak la capitale de la France est Paris. And yes, France is also called France or France, because in France people don't usually uh, usually pronounce the R, so they speak France. But I would here pronounce R, because you are all beginners, so you need practice. And if you say R, it is not a problem, because speaking R is correct, but the local people of France don't speak R, don't pronounce R. They usually skip it. But no problem, you can speak R. It's your wish. Uh, So somewhere people say France, somewhere say France, so don't be confused by it. Okay. Okay, next is, if I want to say, it is also called the city of light. What I would say? Elle s'appelle aussi la ville lumière, as you can see here. And yes, Paris is called Paris in French. Just like Paro in Devdas, it's Paris. Or you can say Pari. Every one of us has a friend named Pari. So it's Paris. Paris is Paris. But in France we say Paris. Because in France we actually usually skip the last letter. We don't pronounce it. It's silent in every last letter of any word is silent in French. You will learn this uh, uh, more about these things in later chapters. But this is the starting. Don't be panicked that I don't get it, I don't understand. Just try to feel it, sense it, learn by heart, and you will understand everything. Okay? Because this beautiful journey has just arrived, so we don't have to panic. Let us start next. So, le drapeau or le drapeau. It is the flag. In French, flag is called drapeau or dhapo. As I told you, R is not pronounced by the locals of the France. So I am speaking it by the two names, dhapo or drapeau. It's your wish what you want to use. Le drapeau français est bleu, blanc, rouge. So, which means the French flag is blue, white, and red, which means its color is blue, white, and red. Just like India's flag, green, white, and sorry, orange, white, and green, and Ashoka Chakra. Just like that, France flag is also tricolored, blue, white, red. So next is La Fête Nationale, which means the national festival. Just like India has 15 August, or we can say 26th January, France national festival is on 14th July, and July is called Juillet in France, and Le 14 means 14. There is a different counting in French. We will learn this in our next chapters. And juillet means July in English. Okay, so let's get to the next slide. It's les monuments. Les monuments means monuments, the monuments. Les means the, monument means monuments. We will learn about there are different kinds of the in French in our next chapter. But for now, you just understand that les, la, or le. These three are the in French. They are used for different purposes. We will learn them later. So, les musées. Les musées means the museum. Le Louvre, le musée d'Orsay means le Louvre, the Louvre. The Museum of Louvre is famous because it has Mona Lisa painting, the famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci, and it is kept in the Museum of Louvre. As you can see here, this picture, this is Louvre Museum. It is like this, a triangle, or you can say a prism. Actually it's like a prism, and it is in, we go in the basement because the main museum is in the basement. From the upper side it's like a triangle. Okay, and le musée d'Orsay, it is the museum of Orsay, which we say the musée d'Orsay. Le means the, museum. The here it's D apostrophe, so it means the. The means de. De is off. In French, wherever you see this word, it means off. Okay, so of or for, it is also as uh, for, used as for. And this means that the museum is known as the Museum of Orsay. Orsay is a city in France. Okay. Les Monuments means the monuments. La Tour Eiffel. Okay, do you know about the famous monument or the famous thing about Paris? I know many of you would know, and even many of you, almost everyone would know that Eiffel Tower, the famous tower of Paris, even the famous place of France. Everybody know about it because we have seen it in many of the movies, cartoon movies, even in pictures and serials, right? So in France we don't say Eiffel Tower, we say La Tour Eiffel. See, tour means tower, Eiffel means Eiffel, and La means the tower Eiffel. The Eiffel Tower, we say La Tour Eiffel. And yes, Tour Eiffel. Why if I think many of you would be thinking why I am not speaking these words differently, Tour and Eiffel, but because in France, the last word of any letter, if it is it is with I want to say that we pronounce the last letter of any word whenever there is a vowel in front of the letter. Like here you can see E is there, and E is a vowel in French also. So we will pronounce R and E together. That's why it is La Tour Eiffel, not La Tour and Eiffel. I mean, they are not differently pronounced because we pronounce the last letter whenever there's a vowel. Like here's E, and we don't say La Tu because we pronounce the last letter because E is there and E is a vowel. So whenever there is a vowel in front of any word, we will pronounce the last last letter of that word, just like here E and R. La Tour Eiffel. Next is Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a place like India Gate. As you can see here in this picture, it is made like India Gate, and there are also the names of freedom fighters inscribed on it. And there are also pictures of them fighting for their for French Revolution. You would know, right? It is in the history book class 9. Yeah, so after that it is made. And L'arc de Triomphe, the Arc of Triomphe, it is also a famous place of France, which is we can visit there. It is a monument and it is famous also. Next is l'euro. La monnaie européenne est l'euro. The currency of France is euro. As you all know that the currency of Europe is euro. So France is also a country in the European continent. So its currency is also euro. So let's move to the next slide. La France est connue pour. So what do you think the name suggests? Okay, you would understand the first two letters because you know La means the and France means France. So the France. A means is, connu means famous, pour, or connu means known also. So we can say the France is known for or the France is famous for. And here we will study about some things which are of the France is famous for. The France is famous for its cheese. So there are many kind of cheese in France and they are named after the cities. But we will just learn about two cheese that are le fromage. Le fromage means the cheese. Le camembert, le roquefort. Le Camembert is a city in France after which the cheese is named Le Camembert, and Roquefort is also a city in France after which the cheese is named Le Roquefort. Then le vin. Le vin means the wine. France is also famous for its wines. Le Bordeaux, Le Bourgogne. These are the name of some brands of wines, and Bordeaux and Bourgogne are also two cities in France. There are two cities in France named Bordeaux and Bourgogne. Because in France there are the cheese and wine is named after cities, because every city has their different wine or their different cheese. Les parfums, the perfume. As you all have seen, I think Akshay Kumar doing the ad and saying the best perfumes are French. Yes, Chanel, Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, some brands of France which produce perfumes, and there and also other accessories, clothes, and other things. So Chanel, Dior, Yves Saint Laurent are perfumes of France. You can see here in the picture. And the next is Le Pain. It's not pain, it's pain. We don't say the last word, so it's pain. La baguette. Baguette is the name of this bread you can see here in the picture. So this is the traditional bread of France. Here written, you can see. So as you know, there is a traditional bread of France, and it is called the la baguette. You can even see this bread in bakeries in India also, and you can ask them like, give me the traditional bread of France or the French bread or baguette. They would give you. You can see there, it's long. Here you can see in the picture, and if people are say that this is the traditional bread of France. Okay, so that is it for today. In the next video we will come do the exercises of this chapter. Okay, so bye. Bonjour. No, bonjour, not bonjour. It's to say bye in French. We say au revoir or au revoir. Bye, au revoir.